There is something that happens when a woman stops asking permission to feel, to heal, and to take up space, and starts building a business around it. Our guest today, Holly Bassett, didn't just study healing, she lived it. And everything she offers through her practice, OurChaoticZen, was born out of one of the most courageous decisions a person can make. Welcome back.
Welcome to the Passion to Payday podcast.
We are your hosts, Becky, Sampson, and
Heather Laughter.
This is where stories turn into strategy and passion turns into profit.
Every episode, you'll hear how everyday women build real income doing what they love, and how you can too.
Turn your passions into paydays. Welcome to the show. Well, welcome everybody to another episode of Passion to Payday. I'm Becky Sampson and
Heather Laughter.
How exciting. Thank you so much. And yes, go take it away, Heather.
Oh, thank you, Holly. Thanks so much for being here with us today. So Holly Bassett didn't go to school for healing. She lived her way into it. She is the founder of OurChaoticZen, a trauma healing practice offering Reiki energy work, somatic therapy, breathwork, and immersive sound baths for people carrying the kind of emotional pain that traditional approaches often miss entirely. As a certified Reiki master, sound healer, and Mind Alchemy Hypnosis practitioner, Holly holds space for some of the deepest healing work there is. Religious trauma, childhood wounds, the emotions trapped in the body that we've never had the language to release. Her brand promise says it all. She guides you back to your own inner wisdom so that you can step into a more grounded, liberated version of yourself. And today, she's going to tell us exactly how she turned that gift, born out of her own story, into her passion, and then into her payday.
Welcome to the show, Holly.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, we love it. And you know, one of the things that I love most about what we're doing is I truly love the fact that most of these people's passions do come from a lot of the pain in the past. So I know that that's the case for you as well. So my question to you is kind of tell us the backstory a little bit about what brought you to what you're doing right now, and why are you so passionate about serving the people that you do?
Okay. I'll try to do the Cliff Note version of my story. I experienced childhood sexual abuse trauma as a child, and then was married at 18 and experienced domestic abuse trauma and divorced 16 months after I got married. So I have those two traumas in my life. And then my husband that I'm with now, and he's an amazing person. He and I joined a community that we thought was going to be really great for us and our family, and it ended up being doomsday cult. So we were involved in that community for 23 years. Well, myself, I was in it for 23 years. My husband was in it for 25 years.
Right.
So how I got into this work, during the time that I was in that cult, I was experiencing a lot of pain in my body, severe back pain. And I went to so many different doctors, chiropractors, acupuncture. I did dry needling. I did everything you could think of to rid my body of that pain. And nothing worked. And doctors were basically like, you probably just need to have back surgery. Mm-hmm. And I just knew in my gut that wasn't the answer, that wasn't right. But I didn't know what was going on in my body. So in that process, I started looking for ways to help with the back pain. So I started doing yoga. And I tell people all the time, yoga saved my life, because yoga is what taught me to start to tune into my body and start to be present in my own body. And through yoga and meditation and that kind of stuff, I started really recognizing stuff that was happening in my body. And then once I was able to get myself out of the cult, the pain in my back went away. So that clued me in.
There's a real correlation with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I realized, oh, my body was holding trauma. And once I got myself out of the traumatic situation, the pain went away. And now I can tell I'll have that same type of pain if I ever feel like I'm being controlled. That pain in my back comes back. And so that is where it all started. So I started really like looking at myself and like feeling my body. And when I would have pain anywhere, I would sit with it and I would say, okay, what's happening here? What are you trying to teach me? What are you trying to show me?
Right.
And I have a couple of books that I absolutely love that they're my go-to books of like, okay, why do I have knee pain, or why do I have elbow pain, or whatever? And I'll look it up and I'll be like, okay, is that resonating with me? So I just started really learning on my own body how to release that pain. And then I started wondering, like, I wonder if this would work on somebody else. So I would practice on my daughter or my husband, or people that would let me, people who didn't think I was crazy.
Right.
And then I started realizing, oh, it actually does work with other people too. And
was it at that point that you decided to like start making a business of doing that? I mean, once you kind of saw that it wasn't just you that was affected by these methods of releasing?
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's kind of where the business all started, but it took me some time to have like confidence in myself to feel like I could actually do this as a business. Yeah. And then I went and took,
which is totally normal, by the way, Holly.
Yeah.
If anybody's out there listening going, why is this taking so long? You know what I mean? Like, yes, there is a process. It's like birth, right? There's a labor. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. And I didn't have any confidence in what I was doing at the time, but then I went and took my first Reiki class, and that's kind of where everything clicked for me, where everything started to like open up. And I was like, oh, that's what this is. and was able to like really start to figure things out. And that's when my gifts, I believe, started to really like open up for me. And then I started just being passionate about learning and growing and practicing it on everyone that would let me practice it. And that's kind of where it all began.
So one of the things too is what do you think is your ideal client now that you work with? Is it someone that's been through similar things that you've been through, or trauma in general?
I work with a lot of people with trauma and a lot of people with religious trauma, because that's what I can relate to. But I also do a lot of work in the recovery community. I'm big in doing stuff for Fit to Recover is a gym for recovering addicts. And we do a free sound bath there once a month. So I love working with that community. And then I've done a lot of work with veterans who are struggling with PTSD, with trauma. And then, people that are struggling with anxiety, people that are struggling with just trauma in their lives. And there's so many different ways of helping those people heal. And every person relates to something a little bit differently.
And I will say I had the pleasure of receiving some of Holly's healing services. And it was really mind-boggling to me, because my trauma was primarily in my past. And she helped affirm that for me and gave me a great sense of peace. And I am so grateful to you for that, Holly. And that's why when we came up with this podcast, I thought, Holly's our person.
Well, thank you.
Awesome. So give us an idea, like, what do you think is working well in your business right now?
For me, I try not to focus on the money and where it's going to come from and how it's going to work. I really just try to show up. I try to show up and be my authentic self and give my gifts the best I can. And it really, for me, it's just love. And I just try to show up in love with every single person I come in contact with. And I feel like people connect with that. And so I get a lot of business by referral and people just word of mouth. Obviously you have to pay attention to the details of the business. Yes. And I have a person that helps me with some marketing and with my social media and stuff like that. And that's wonderful because I'm not good at that. And I don't want to do that. I just want to do what I love.
Well, and that's something I love that you brought that up there, because there's a lot of people in the same space. I was interviewing a bunch of women several years ago, and the common denominator is marketing. And that's one of the reasons why we wanted to do this podcast, is because both Heather and I are massive marketers. We love exposing people, and hey, why don't you come on our platforms so that we can let people know what you do and be able to get out there? Because I know that it's hard sometimes when you're an entrepreneur, and especially a solopreneur, and you're trying to play all the different roles. Yeah. It can be very frustrating and very overwhelming. So
overwhelming is the word. One of the things I loved so much, Holly, that you did was you followed up with me and you gave me a summary of what we discussed. And I've been in this field for many years, and I've been involved with a lot of healing practitioners, and you are the first one ever who has done something like that. And that was so awesome, because when you're in the moment, you're like excited and you're processing, and I was a little bit, oh my gosh, this is awesome. So I really appreciated that very, very much. And that was so valuable to me. And then she checked in with me again. So you are the real deal. I appreciate that. And I'm wondering, what would make 2026 your best year ever?
Well, we are looking at we did a retreat last fall, and we're going to do another one this fall. So having a sold out retreat would be amazing.
Awesome.
And then we have a lot of big things coming up. We're doing a big summit in Utah. It's the Healing Utah Summit. We're going to be involved in that, and we're going to be doing breathwork and sound for that. So we've got some big things coming up this year. I think 2026 is going to be a good year for us. For me, it's just all about meeting the people who need the help and helping them. And I've always said, like, I will show up. I don't care if 1 or 2 people are there or 20 people are there. I will show up and do what I love to do, because I just love helping people heal.
Well, and that's what I love is that you've taken your pain and turned it into a business where you can help and support other people. And a couple things that I heard during this, these are kind of tips, right? Follow up, fortune, the fortune is in the follow up. That's how you really, look, anybody can come into your business and then leave. If you don't have systems to follow up, then it really shows, if nobody else is doing it, like Heather said, you stand out from the rest of them because of what you're doing. And so and I love that she says you're the real deal. And so I want to make sure everybody knows. Now, do you also, just want to ask, are you nationwide, or do you just work here in the state of Utah?
Most of my clients are just here in Utah, but I have the capacity to be able to do what I do online. I can do long distance Reiki sessions with people. So I can really do the work anywhere. Obviously our sound baths are local, and then my husband does breath work.
Nice.
So a lot of times he does breath work and I do sound with it. We do a combined like breath and sound experience that is really awesome. And so
if you haven't done that, it's amazing.
Yes.
I also have experienced that. And we almost went to a sound bath last weekend when we were together. We nearly missed it, but it is very, very powerful work to do. So we want to make sure everybody, if they do want to get a hold of you, which is over there, QR code, or you can go to her website there to get a hold of you. That would be wonderful.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Holly, for being willing to take some time out of your day to
Yeah.
come share what you do. And I know you have way more of a story. And if people want to contact you, you can hear about that. And thank you so much for being willing to serve the way that you do in this space, because it's so important. So,
thank you.
Yep. All right. Thanks, you guys, for joining us on another episode of Passion to Payday podcast. And please check us out on YouTube. And then soon, as of next week, we will be on all of the audio platforms on Spotify, Apple, and then I think YouTube Music as well. So we'll be excited to have you join us there. And we'll see you on the next episode. Thank you for joining us on another episode of the Passion to Payday podcast.
If you're overwhelmed, spinning your wheels, and not seeing the income you want, there's a good chance you're undercharging for what you do.
We're going to change that. So join us live at our upcoming virtual event, May 13th through 15th, where together we'll build your high ticket offer so your passion finally pays you back.
Save your spot today,
because your passion deserves a payday.